I love where I live now, but if I were moving to the Washington, D.C. area in 2025 or 2026, and I had to start fresh, these are the 5 neighborhoods or cities I'd consider. Each of them offers something unique. Some are energetic and urban, others are refined and historic. Some are in the heart of D.C., others are just across the river in Virginia. But all of them are places where I'd feel confident putting down roots. I'm going to give you a full tour. We'll talk about what it feels like to live there, what kinds of homes you'll find, and what it really defines the lifestyle in each of these. I'll also share where my wife and I choose to live and why we made the decision after years in the suburbs. And make sure to stick around to the end because each of these areas have something different to offer. There isn't a best neighborhood for everyone. It's about what works for you. Let's start with one of DC's most timeless and recognizable neighborhoods, Georgetown. It's located in Northwest DC along the Potomac River. Georgetown sits just about 10 minutes west of downtown. This is the city's oldest and most iconic neighborhood for sure. It was even founded before Washington was itself. The area feels distinctly European with its cobblestone streets, gas lanterns, and beautifully preserved 18th and 19th century architecture. While just a few blocks away, the main corridors buzz with shops and cafes and constant energy. On M Street and Wisconsin Avenue, you'll find upscale shopping with designer brands like Ralph Lauren, All Saint, Rag & Bones, as well as local boutiques. And then if you head over to Caddy's Alley, you'll have boutique home design firms. Georgetown is definitely known for an excellent dining and coffee scene. There are a few standouts to me, Fiel Mar, Osteria Mazza. And for coffee lovers, you have Baked and Wired and Floor. And these are just touching the surface of what's available there. For outdoor recreation, you have the Sea Canal, Waterfront Park, and the Capitol Crescent Trail. And since these are all so convenient, most people find that they spend more times outdoors in Georgetown than they did, especially if they came from a suburban neighborhood. So what is the lifestyle really like? It's walkable. The main streets are definitely very energetic, but when you get a block or two away, the residential streets are fairly quiet and have more of a neighborhood feel. On a typical Saturday, you can enjoy riverfront runs, dining by the water, or brunch at Martin's Tavern. The thing I love when walking around Georgetown is that every block is very charming and historic. If you have to walk, say, 4 or 5 blocks, you don't mind because the buildings and the homes are so captivating. There's no metro rail station, but that's by design. It kind of adds to the reserved and private feel. So what kind of housing can you get there? Decent-sized condos start in the high 800s. Row houses can range from $1 million to $4 million for the most part. There are some signature properties that will trade well above that mark. Detached homes are harder to come by, but they do exist, and they typically will fall in a range of $3 to $7 million. Georgetown is pretty famous for its federal architecture, and many homes have hidden courtyards in the back. You'll also find that each home there is very unique, so don't expect kind of cookie cutter row houses. I would say if you like architecture, riverside views, boutique shopping, and historic elegance, you'll love Georgetown. And here's a little insider tip. You can experience some amazing views of the river and the skyline if you head behind the Key Bridge Boathouse or the top of the gate, which is the rooftop bar on top of the Watergate Hotel. Okay, let's head a few blocks east to a neighborhood that's every bit as iconic, but with a slightly more, I would say, like cosmopolitan edge, and that would be Dupont Circle. It's located in Northwest D.C. as well. It's bordered by Georgetown on the west, Kalorama is to the north, and the Logan Circle is to the east. At the center is Dupont Circle Park, which is the neighborhood is actually named after. Dupont is a great mix of international culture, the arts and architecture with all the embassies. You have art galleries and turn-of-the-century mansions. But now, not all of them are mansions. There are plenty of condos and row houses as well. The Dupont Circle Park and Fountain is the hub for life in the neighborhood. It's a great gathering spot to read, to have your lunch, or occasionally hear live music. You'll also experience the Dupont Circle Farmers Market, which is one of the most popular in the city. There's a hydroponic farm there, which has some of the most amazing lettuce I've ever had. You have multiple bookstores like Kramer Books, which is a bookstore and a cafe. Then you have the renowned art museum, the Phillips Collection, which is housed in the original collector's former historic mansion. You have dozens of sidewalk cafes and art spaces. There's easy access to the metro, dedicated bike lanes, and they're very walkable streets. In fact, walkscore.com rates it a 99 out of 100. And I believe only 2 cities in the U.S. have ever gotten a perfect 100 score. DuPont feels very urban, yet lively, but it's definitely not chaotic there. Locals tend to enjoy art shows, wine bars, fine dining, literary events, and then they have the architectural tours. I heard someone once describe Dupont Circle as old world Europe meets East Coast intellect, which I would tend to agree with. What kind of homes can you expect to find here? You'll see mostly pre-war mid-rise condo buildings if you're looking for condos. And then you have row houses that have been split up into condos. Those are very prevalent. And all the condos typically range from $600,000 to $1.5 million, depending on size and finishes. You'll find some beautiful, gorgeous 20th century historic row houses, which range between $2 and $4 million or more. Q Street is one of my favorite streets in DuPont, but there's several gorgeous, really charming streets there. I would say if you like art, culture, architecture, an international flavor, and combine this with walkability, you'll love Dupont Circle. Besides the many great restaurants, here are a few of my favorite places in DuPont. The O Street Museum, which is a museum housed in 4 historic row houses that were combined to make this very unique museum. Every artifact in the museum is actually for sale, and there are over 100 hidden doors for you to discover. I think people mostly only find like 20, maybe 30 when they're there. Another hidden gem in Dupont Circle is the Dupont Circle Underground, which is a former abandoned underground trolley station, which has been turned into an arts and event space. It's actually located beneath Dupont Circle Park. Their events there are a much more modern way to experience art. They're really fun. They typically have music mixed with drinks, and sometimes they even have these costume themed parties. By the way, if we haven't met yet, I'm Brad Thornton, a local real estate agent who makes content all about living in and moving to the Washington, D.C. area based on my 26 years here. So if you're looking to buy or sell a home, let's connect. Okay, let's move just east of Dupont Circle to a neighborhood that has a great blend of classic architecture and vibrant energy. And for people not familiar with the city, it's one of DC's hidden gems. I'm talking about Logan Circle. Since it's very centrally located within the city, access to the city's other major neighborhoods is fairly easy. The neighborhood itself is anchored by Logan Circle Park, which happens to be the only circle in DC where all the original homes remain. 14th Street, which is the main street, runs right through the center. So no matter where you live, it's incredibly walkable. WalkScore gives it a 98 out of 100, calling it a walker's paradise. Logan Circle happens to be the neighborhood my wife and I call home. We chose it because it's walkable. We don't need our cars unless we leave the city, really. Everything we need on a daily basis is a short walk. We love that it's a vibrant and energetic urban neighborhood, but it's definitely not overcrowded. The proximity to the rest of DC is so attractive. Plus, we found a beautiful old Victorian row house that we love. And I'll say within days of moving here, we met several of our neighbors who we're still friends with to this day. Simply because everybody's out walking. You'll see people out in the morning jogging, grabbing coffee, walking their dogs, or strolling their kids, or headed to dinner in the evenings. Here's the thing with Logan Circle. From your home, you can walk to Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, your gym, your yoga studio, CVS, Sephora, plus an amazing lineup of restaurants, coffee shops, wine bars, and boutiques. Now, you'll find local favorites like Le Diplomat, which is a French cafe-style bistro, very popular. Barcelona Wine Bar, which has a cozy outdoor patio. And then you have Salt and Sundry, which is a local lifestyle boutique that's very popular here. Most residents live a nearly car-free lifestyle, since errands, dining, and nightlife are all walkable. And by the way, there are 3 metro stations surrounding Logan Circle, which should be within a 10 to 15-minute walk, depending on where your location is. So what does real estate look like here? Condos typically range from $700,000 to $1.2 million. Of course, there's some exceptions on the high end and penthouses. Many are in newer mid-rise buildings compared to Dupont or Georgetown, or you'll find row houses that have been split into 2 to 4 condo units. You also find some gorgeous Victorian homes, and they're kind of the pride of Logan Circle. And those usually fall in between, say, 1.8 and 3 million, often with rooftop decks and private gardens in the back. Detached single-family homes are really rare here. Architecturally, Logan Circle has a nice blend of historic charm and modern restoration on the interiors. So what type of people are attracted to Logan Circle? I would say if you love great food, outdoor dining, an urban lifestyle with charming architecture where everything's right at your doorstep, you'll love Logan Circle. Now let's cross over the river into Virginia to a city that combines mostly post-war residential with a more modern city, and I'm talking about Arlington, Virginia. It's just across the Potomac River from Georgetown. It's connected to D.C. by the Key Bridge, Roosevelt Bridge, and multiple metro lines. Arlington is a city with a sleek, modern infrastructure, I would say. The vibe feels clean, high energy, and balanced. Within Arlington, though, you'll find a variety of neighborhoods. So you have high-rise urban districts like Ballston, Clarendon, and Roslyn. Then you have charming residential communities within walking distance to those urban areas like Lion Village. And then you also have quiet, more exclusive enclaves like Country Club Hills. There are over 70 neighborhoods in Arlington, so there's truly something for everyone. Arlington gives you access to major retail, also excellent dining, rooftop lounges, and fitness centers. If you enjoy the outdoors, there are plenty of trails and green spaces for adults, children, and dogs. Reagan International Airport actually sits inside Arlington, so convenience is a huge plus there. I describe the overall vibe as professional, active, and community-minded. So what kind of homes can you expect to find in Arlington? For condos, you'll find mid and high-rise buildings that were mostly built between the 1980s and the early 2000s. There's some new construction. Expect to pay between $500,000 and $1.2 million, with some luxury penthouses that go above that range. A few blocks off the urban core neighborhoods, you'll find townhomes averaging around $850,000. Single family homes come in a mix of styles, so you have colonials, ranches, bungalows, and craftsmen. The average price for a detached single home is currently around $1.4 million. In many areas, it's common to see a mix of older homes alongside newer builds. If you're drawn to modern glass tower living, you'll love Arlington's urban core neighborhoods. Or if your idea of charm is mid-century or a brand new build with more yard space while still staying close to DC and Arlington's urban core, you'll love Arlington too. A few of my favorite local spots, you have the Custis Trail, which is perfect for a scenic run or a ride through the heart of Arlington. There's Northside Social, a relaxed coffee and wine spot. It's not very fancy, but it's always a good hangout with friends. And for a quick bite, I would say Earl's Sandwiches. Get the turkey cranberry. It's one of the best around. Now let's head just south of Arlington to Alexandria, Virginia. It's a riverside city that's known for its colonial charm with a little slower pace. The neighborhood that I specifically love in Alexandria is Old Town. Old Town sits right along the Potomac River and is easily accessible by metro, car, bike, or even water taxi. So Old Town is a historic port city with beautifully preserved 18th and 19th century architecture. As you walk around, you'll see some cobblestone streets, some gas lamps, and brick sidewalks, which give it that storybook charm feel. At the heart of Old Town is King Street, and which has been nationally recognized as one of the best main streets in America. It has this timeless historic character to it, but it also has this modern vibrancy. You'll find an incredible mix of shops, restaurants, galleries, and a very lively waterfront there. Some of the standout spots to me include the Torpedo Factory, which is a creative hub for local artists, and it's housed in this old torpedo factory. The Old Town Farmers Market, which I believe is the oldest continually running in the whole country. Then you have the Waterfront Park, and so you'll see locals gather for concerts, events, or just to take in the waterfront views. They're quite gorgeous. Old Town is made up of the city's downtown along with a residential area. It's quite popular and typically draws locals and visitors, so it has that energetic feel. Yet I would say the overall rhythm is more relaxed and neighborly. On a nice weekend, it does get a decent amount of visitors there because it's just a beautiful, very popular place. When it comes to housing, you'll find predominantly condos and townhomes. Condos typically start around $500,000, while townhomes and historic row houses range from about $800,000, and they could go all the way up to $2.5 million for nicer and on the high end. It just depends on the size and the location. So what kind of people are drawn there? If you love history, waterfront living, walkable streets, and a slightly slower pace, I would say, that's still close to the city, you'll love Old Town Alexandria. It's very charming, and I hope that really comes across how charming it is on my videos. Do people here enjoy riverside walks, gallery hopping, and casual outdoor dining, and all this while still having easy access to DC? If you got an afternoon to explore, I would say start your walk at Call Your Mother Deli on King Street, grab a coffee and a bagel, and head east down King Street towards the river. Along the way, you'll pass boutiques, cafes, and restaurants, and end up at Old Town's Waterfront Park. You can literally eat, drink, and shop your way to the water. That stretch of King Street is what's been called America's Main Street. So there you have it, the 5 places I'd move if I were relocating to the Washington, D.C. area in 2025 or 2026. And here's the thing, if you choose one of these, you are still within miles of the other one. So you can take advantage of everything all these neighborhoods have to offer. If you're considering a move to the DC area and you're still trying to narrow down your choices, you'll find a link below to book a quick call, or my contact information is there. Look, there's no pressure. It's just helpful insight based on what you're looking for. Also, many people find my relocation guide very helpful. There is a link for that in the description below. Now, you'll definitely want to check out this next video, which explains why you want to avoid moving to the Washington, D.C. area unless you can handle these 15 things.